The first half of the season has been amazing so far with many different storylines and players putting up absurd numbers. And to most NBA fans, they've narrowed down their top two candidates for the MVP award, Russell Westbrook and James Harden. Judging by the title, you might be ready to dislike this video already, but just hear me out first. I'll first talk about Russell Westbrook. As you guys already know, Russ is having an amazing season and is currently averaging 31.1 points per game, 10.1 assists per game, and 10.5 rebounds per game. If you just saw the stat line alone, you might be ready to give him the award right away. I mean, he's averaging a triple-double. It hasn't been done since Oscar Robertson in 1962. But these three categories don't tell the full story. Yes, Westbrook plays with the most energy. Yes, he's carrying the Thunder into the playoffs. Yes, he has to do it all for the Thunder, but they are still in the 7th seed and may not even win 50 games this season. If the Big O didn't win the MVP when he averaged a triple-double on higher efficiency, why should Westbrook win the award just because of the triple-double average? Not to take anything away from Russ, as he is a phenomenal player, but if you watch him play, you won't even realize he has a triple-double in the game. And basically what I mean by that is he gets his stats, but his actual play isn't what it looks like based on the stat sheet. Of course, he's also averaging 5.5 turnovers per game, shooting 42% from the field, and shooting 34% from three-point range. Just another thing to add, Westbrook right now has a usage percentage of 41.8%, which is the most in NBA history. Though this extremely high usage percentage allows him to increase his stats, no player in the top 30 in all-time usage percentage has won the MVP award other than Allen Iverson. And that year, Iverson led the 76ers to the best record in the East. Again, Russ is one of the best players in the world, but I do think there's someone who's more deserving of the award. Now I'll talk about James Harden. If the MVP were to go to either Harden or Westbrook, I would greatly prefer Harden to win. And if Harden wins, I wouldn't feel that anybody got snubbed. He's having an amazing season. Harden's currently averaging an absurd 29.2 points per game, 8.3 rebounds per game, 11.3 assists per game. The main difference between his game and Westbrook's, however, is his ability to make his teammates better and win ball games. Currently, the Rockets have a record of 40-18 with a starting lineup of James Harden, Eric Gordon, Clint Capella, Trevor Ariza, and Ryan Anderson. Harden has literally had this starting lineup and won more games than the Cleveland Cavaliers, the defending NBA champions who have 3 NBA All-Stars. In terms of the normal definition of valuable, I think nobody's more fit to win this award other than James Harden. The only reason I think someone else can win this is because of how the MVP is given, like based on like team wins and stuff like that. Another reason I would prefer Harden over Westbrook is his defense. As funny as that sounds, you may think Westbrook has a much better defense because of Harden's reputation as a defender last season, but Harden's defense this season has been very solid and definitely better than Russell Westbrook. If you watch Thunder games, Westbrook generally leaves his man wide open to attempt to get rebounds, making his teammates have to recover for him. If you don't believe me, I'll link a video in the description showing this. Westbrook is also a bad off-ball defender and tends to gamble for steals too much. Harden, on the other hand, I feel is playing average defense this year. Now that I've finished giving Harden his case to win the award, I will explain why he may not win it. Though the Rockets have had a great first half of the season, they've been overperforming the whole way. Obviously, when you see the roster, they were definitely not meant to win this many games this quick in recent games as they have started to get back to normal. I doubt they'll be able to keep the same pace through the rest of the season, and if they drop out a top 3 seed, Harden will not be as likely to win the MVP award. So I've talked about Harden and Westbrook the whole video, so who's going to win MVP if they don't? So let me narrow it down for you. Other than Harden and Westbrook, I think the other MVP candidates in most NBA fans' minds would be LeBron James, Isaiah Thomas, Kevin Durant, and Kawhi Leonard. For Isaiah Thomas, I doubt his team wins enough games to prove that he should win the award just because of his individual performance over people like Harden and Westbrook. Another factor is that because of his size, he can be easily argued as the worst defender in the NBA. Having him on the court for the Celtics is a big risk as they have to take because of his play on the other end of the floor. I read an article which used advanced stats to show that even though Isaiah is averaging the most fourth quarter points this season in NBA history, he actually hurts his team in the fourth quarter because of his defense. I'll link the article in the description. I love what Isaiah is doing, tremendous respect for him going from the last pick in the draft to a franchise player, and I do believe he will go down as the greatest player sub 6 feet of all time, but I don't think this is impact enough for him to win MVP. That narrows it down to LeBron, Kawhi, and Durant. Though Kawhi has been playing the best basketball of his career, I can't consider him a serious threat to win the award because of the following reasons. The Spurs are doing great as usual and Kawhi is leading them, but the Warriors will win more games, so Durant has the edge over him in team success. Now, in terms of individual play and impact, simply put, Durant has had a bigger impact than Kawhi on both ends of the floor. Now, before you hate me in the comments for claiming Durant is a better defender, I'm not saying that, but as being one of the main rim protectors that the Warriors need this season, Durant is doing that job greatly and is being the defensive anchor they need. And in general, defensive anchors will always have a greater defensive impact than perimeter players. The reason for this is that the perimeter players are not as involved defensively as anchors. An article I read actually showed how Kawhi's great perimeter defense hurts the Spurs. The opposing team would simply take Kawhi out of the play completely by getting his man not to be involved and basically playing 4v4. In this situation, Kawhi has no defensive impact, and thus the Spurs' defense become drastically worse. Again, I will link this article in the description. If you still don't believe me, Durant holds his opponents to 4.7% less field goal percentage than they usually shoot, compared to Kawhi holding his opponents to 1.8% less field goal percentage. Durant has also had a higher defensive box plus minus, has more defensive win shares, and is averaging about one more block per game than Kawhi. And offensively, Durant is averaging about the same points per game on much higher efficiency, lower usage percentage, and is also averaging more assists per game. Now this leaves just LeBron and Durant. Though both of them will have the number 1 seed in their respective conferences, the Warriors will win much more games than the Cavs. Durant, as mentioned before, is having a greater defensive impact. Durant is averaging more blocks per game, a higher defensive blocks plus minus, more defensive win shares, and is making the players he guards shoot less effectively. On the offensive side of the court, LeBron's averaging the most minutes in the NBA and is averaging about the same points per game as Durant, while Durant shoots a higher true shooting percentage and has a lower usage percentage. So yes, I think Durant has a legitimate shot at winning the MVP this season because of his impact on both sides of the ball combined with his team success. If I had to make a bet, it may still be Harden, but with how Durant is miles ahead of both Harden and Westbrook on the defensive end, and is having a much efficient year than both of them, and his team is on another level than their team, and with Harden's team slowly declining, I think Durant could win the MVP award. That being said, I still do think Harden deserves it more. Like, he's literally put the Rockets on his back and is looking to, make a run towards the NBA Finals. But most people, they only consider Harden and Westbrook for being a candidate, so that's what irritates me, because I think guys like Kevin Durant have a good shot at it. Alright, that's all I got for this video. Thanks for watching. This is my longest video yet, so please leave feedback, like this video, and subscribe for more NBA content. Until next time.